Well, we're joined now by Lizzie Cundy and Danielle Lloyd to help us lift the lid on life behind WAG culture. Good morning to both of you.
Hello,
Thank you for joining us here. So, Lizzie, you're friends with both of the girls, aren't you? And you're actually friends with Colleen on her private account.
Yes.
And you were beginning to wonder why she hadn't posted for a little while.
Well, I just thought she'd gone a bit quiet, but we've all got busy lives and, you know, we're so busy doing our own things as well. But, who knew she was being like Columbo, one of the best detectives ever.
So what is your reaction to these stories?
Well, I was pretty shocked, to be honest. When I first saw Colleen's post, I couldn't quite believe it, especially being Rebekah Vardy, who I know, because I think, why would Rebekah Vardy do this? She doesn't need the money. She doesn't need the fame and press. Why would she do it? I can only think possibly to score brownie points with the journalists. I don't know.
So what do you think?
I wasn't as shocked.
You weren't surprised?
No.
Why?
Because I've had run-ins with Rebekah before over similar things, so I wasn't as shocked. Obviously, like everybody else, you read it and you are like, oh my gosh. But I wasn't as shocked as seeing who it actually allegedly was.
Because, I mean, this is information that Colleen has been collecting for 5 months. I mean, some people say, it's quite an extreme thing to do, but the impact, just explain how that feels.
I mean,
if you're doubting all of your friends, all those people in your inner circle.
She's had 2 years of these stories repeatedly being in the press, and she's not knowing who it is, and it's really disturbing her own family, so she had to get to the bottom of it, and this was her way. And in fact, just a couple of years ago, I interviewed Jennifer Lopez, who said, I said, how do you keep your inner circle? Who do you trust? And she said, I give fake stories, and those fake stories that get printed, I know, are the ones to block and get rid of. And I don't know whether Colleen listened to that interview, but it's exactly what she's done, and it's very clever.
There must be a while, I suppose, where you think, before you figure out what's happening, that you think you're going mad here. To be so careful.
Definitely. I think, obviously, she must have been sitting there and not knowing who to trust, and it's really not a nice situation to be in at all.
I mean, she's denying it. There's no doubt about it. I mean, she does have a very close relationships with those papers. We know that.
Yeah.
Do you think she's capable of doing something
It doesn't
like
mean
this?
you're guilty just because you're friends. She's in the public eye, she's on TV, she's done I'm a Celebrity. You're going to have friends that are journalists. I do a talk radio show with one, but it doesn't mean you're doing that. But I think Colleen had to find the truth, and I don't think she would have gone to the measures of going and putting, outing her unless she had concrete evidence.
And it's definitely come from Becky's account, so...
Well,
who
she says she could have been hacked. She's vehemently denied it, as we saw. Do you think she did it?
I think she did it.
Do you?
Yeah. Sadly, I really do. And I think it's a shame, because she probably never thought that she was going to get caught out, but...
And why, then? For what reasons?
To keep it with the
It's
press.
obviously not the money. I think it's the press issue. I think she thought maybe if she was feeding the press stories, she would maybe get more headlines for herself. I honestly don't know. I could never do that.
And is that kind of sort of a wider representation of WAG culture? Is that what happens?
Well, I think I've never had
WAG.
anything like this, and I know there's competition. There has been with some of the girls that I know, if their partner is getting picked as first choice and their partner isn't, or getting more press attention.
Who's got the best handbag, who's got the best car, that kind of thing.
And, I was at one of the clubs where someone got a brand new car, one of the girlfriends, and it was actually, scratched the whole way the next day out of jet. And you do get this, it is like the drama series at times, but thankfully, I was never involved in that. But, I just think it's sad you're getting in lawyers now, legals. I mean, I'm happy. I'll be a mediator. I'll sit with them both and get to the bottom of it.
I think Colleen's a very, very private person. I know she's in the public eye, and I know she's married to one of the biggest football stars, but she does like to keep her personal life private.
We're all a bunch of curtain twitchers. We love looking out the curtains and checking to see what's going on. Everybody loves a little bit of gossip.
Yeah.
Having said that, Rebekah is heavily pregnant, as she has pointed out. Do you think that it was right to call her out on this?
Listen, I've had it personally done to me when my marriage split. It was another former footballer's wife, and I found out straight away who it was. But I didn't go publicly. I actually just rang her and said, I know, and I just blocked her. If I don't trust someone, I block them immediately, and that's the way I would do it.
So why didn't Colleen just block her?
I think it's probably been, like, heat of the moment, anger. This has been going on
at the moment. This has taken a lot of investigation.
It's been
she
a
has
long,
become, as some
long
fans have
time.
said, Wagatha Christie.
But I think Colleen thought. You know what? I'll embarrass her with an audience. You do it one-to-one, no one else knows. And if you do it with an audience, you know she's not going to do it again, and everyone will know about it.
What happens here if she is telling the truth and she didn't do it, and her account has been hacked, or she's given her account details to a PR or something?
Then name the person.
Then name the person. But then, what does it feel like? Because, Lizzie, you've had this before on the other foot, where you've been accused of telling
there is
stories.
nothing worse than being accused or having it done to you. But, you know, it's the worst in the world. And I think you have to get to the bottom of it. And, you know, if Becky's saying she didn't do it, then she's got to show the proof. And, you know, as I said, I think you've got to be honest and come out and say either way. But for Colleen, I've had it done to me. I had stories sold on me, and it's the worst feeling in the world.
Well, Rebekah is apparently cutting short her family holiday in Dubai, flying home with her husband after being left, in quotes, devastated and inconsolable. Sources close to Rebekah say that she's preparing to hit back and is working with her lawyers to prove that she had nothing to do with the leak.
Oh, this is so sad. I just think it is so sad that it's like wags at war, that it's just going to get out of hand now. And I just think it's really sad because you're going to get everyone jumping on the bandwagon. You know, you're going to have trolls, everyone's talking it, Twitter's gone alight. It's just, I think, a sad situation.
That private life that Colleen wants suddenly hugely public in a much bigger, greater way.
I think probably all Colleen wants is a quiet life, and like, it's obviously this person who has been doing the stories has not been respecting that, and
well, it will stop someone else doing it in their
It certainly will. Don't mess with Colleen, really. Don't mess with her. But, you know, I just hope that we can sort this out. As I said, I think we should sit around a table and get to the bottom of it rather than get all legal and public. But Colleen wouldn't have done this unless she thought. And she's a very honest, lovely girl, and she, you know, she would never have gone and outed someone publicly like this unless she had 100% proof.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you
All
both.
right. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you very much. Thank you.